Hello everyone, my name is TurboTony19 and we're back with another Broken Sword video. If you remember last time, just to summarise, Nico decided to continue her investigation while George is doing his thing, and she found out her apartment had been bugged. That's why Plantard knew that what she was doing. And when we went back and visit Café de la Chantelle Verte, we found that the police had actually left behind two very interesting artifacts. A coded message that implicates Imelda, Pierre Cochon's wife, and this sort of key. So we're going to go and have a quick look and see. It brought us back here. Apparently she reckons that here is the key to where we need to go. Luckily we've done all this before. We've got to do the same thing again. I remember getting stuck on this when we first did it. So then we use that on that, just to hold it in place. Yeah. It's a bit strange that they make you do this again. But, you know, it kind of goes into... It would be a bit weird if you could just, like, anyone now could just walk straight in without having all these artifacts that they needed. So now we can go straight back through. We're back here again, so interesting. Let's have a quick look in this area here.
Turning the lights off wasn't going to help.
See, it doesn't look like a switch here, I just don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, can you guys see a switch there? Maybe it's just a generator, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, we're back here again. And she seems to think that there's something here that... Oh, what's this? Or is that the drawer that we...
The drawer had come out easily enough, but wouldn't fit back into place.
Yeah, it won't fit back into place. And there's nothing hidden under there.
There was nothing else in the drawer.
Okay, so let's have a look over here. No, she doesn't see anything that she wants to do anything with. Okay, so I'm a little bit stumped here. I don't really know what to do. She won't do anything there. But she was absolutely sure that this is something that she needed to do. Let's have a quick look around. Maybe there's another desk that maybe we could... Ah, I see, there's another desk here. Maybe this has got something to do with it.
I wasn't going to find anything in this old desk. It hadn't been used for years.
Yeah, quite right. But I don't know if you guys have just noticed something. I just noticed it out of the corner of my eye. I think I figured out what we need to do. I've noticed all this, and on this game... I mean, this game is a bit easier now since the re-release. But as we hover over... You can see there's something here in the wall. Let's see what she says about this here first.
A door like that always has something important behind it. I had to find a way to unlock it.
Well, we do have a key. It's worth a crack, don't you think, guys? Ah, here we go.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too.
Seems like everyone involved would have used this place. And it's got fascist... You know, stuff all on the walls. It doesn't bode well for these guys. Okay. Okay. So we've got something here. Some papers.
The folders were empty. Someone had removed anything that they thought could be incriminating.
Okay. Let's pick
A
this up.
photograph had been torn up. If I could just arrange the pieces.
Okay. So now we need to arrange the pieces. This is another small... you know, puzzle that you can do in the game, and it's fairly easy.
Oh my god, it can't be.
Ah, it's starting to come into focus now, and we're starting to learn more secrets about Nico. Surely that fits there. Surely, yeah. Or maybe I need to move the whole thing. So yeah, essentially now you've just got to recreate, you know, what this is. And it does take a little while. It's not very big, but it's not very hard either, so I'm not going to skip through this. Fits there. There'll be another thing that fits there as well, because it's only the left side. Oh, there we go. That should fit fine. And then, yeah, there we are. Everything fitting into place. Bash, bash, bosh. Yeah, I do like these puzzles that they added in. I don't know, they're not exactly exciting to watch per se, but I do enjoy them. This is all in the wrong place, isn't it? It's a shame you can't pick up and move everything. Would make things a little bit easier, because I just get the feeling that that goes there. Yeah. So don't know where that goes. So now we've got to fit him into this, and you can probably already see where this is going. Some unspeakable acts happening in Africa that had Carshot involved, and also Nico's father.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Carchon while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
She's doing this on her own, by the way. I'm not doing anything in this. And here we go, we're back to George. So, yeah, I was wrong. There's a third part to Nico's extra story that was added into the game. But now we're back as George, so obviously she's gone back into her house. But yeah, man, so she's just realised, big bombshell just dropped on her, that, it's also Thierry Collard, Nico's father, that was also heavily involved in some really heinous acts back in the day. And obviously involved in a group of people that maybe aren't of a good moral background. So yeah, she's gone off. She needs to think on that. She needs to decide what to do. However, George is still trying to figure out who blew up the cafe he was in. That's really all the reason he's here for. And also you got a number of other rather attractive women in Nico. He updated his journal. Met an old guy in the courtyard near the cafe, saw a man running away after the bomb blast, wearing a jacket made of the same material I found in the sewers. He gave the jacket away straight away, but I've got the phone number of a tailor who made it, so I might have a lead. And that was Todrick, and if you remember, he wasn't much of a lead, but maybe we can get something out of him at a later date. Before we go up to Nico, let's talk to this woman here.
Hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
Wait a minute. What the hell is this guy doing? He wasn't there before. Look at him just going across. Okay. So yeah, this woman here, she's a flower seller, but she also has psychic powers. I wonder who would win between her and Rosso. We will never know. We will never know. But let's press her on some issues. Let's ask her about Nico. We're about to meet her. Maybe she knows something.
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fix it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
Landlords, huh? Landlords. I've had my fair share of trouble with landlords before, but let's not get into that. Let's ask her more about Nico.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
Indeed, indeed. I'm just noticing here, quite weirdly, that the frames are dropping like a motherfucker. I don't know why. It's going a bit weird. It's going up and down. Maybe it's just a frame that we're in. Maybe the game itself can't hack it very well. But let's keep talking about Nico, see what she has to say.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's a bit weird that you would just instantly say that about someone. Oh, she's been crying herself to sleep. Normally that's something that you would keep to yourself, unless maybe you do enjoy nattering, gossiping, which maybe this woman does. Doesn't maybe gets the attention that she wants and everything along those lines. But we can keep talking about Nico.
Have you seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall, and thin as a broomstick. He kept his face hidden, but I saw his eyes peering from evil little slits.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with an hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
Okay, continuing on.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Mademoiselle Collard?
No, monsieur.
Okay, and that's just reaffirming that she doesn't want, or she doesn't have anything to say about Nico, because she's kind of opened the book up on her a little bit. Let's ask her about the flowers.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Well, thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat.
Yeah, so obviously he likes Nico. Why wouldn't you? She's a attractive lady, and got a number, and he does have a as a liking for the women. He said that in his journal, and he's coming here to maybe meet a few girls. And what better place to meet a girl than in a place that you just got bombed in? Come on, everyone meets people that way.
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, and if you, here's the thing, it's awkward. It cuts people in half, right? The mysticality. Are there really psychics in the world? Can they really know what people are going to do and say? I'm firmly against it. I think it's a crock. And obviously does George as well by the looks of him, yeah. There is a certain science to be able to do it, and some people are susceptible, and they will hear what they want to hear. But, funny enough, my wife thinks completely otherwise. She's seen psychics before. She's on that bandwagon, and I've learned to accept that some people they either like believing it, or they do genuinely believe it, or it helps them with something, and if it does, then that's just something that I can't really be bad about or anything along those lines, so it doesn't harm me. But it does get there is a little bit of tinge of frustration when I hear people talk mystics. Oh, this person, she can tell the future, and I have to curb my tongue a little bit because it means something to them, but in my mind I know better, but still.
How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
One of the lucky ones that has supernatural powers, apparently.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
And isn't that creepy, isn't it? That you can't see your own future. Still, my thoughts on that. Let's ask her about our plethora of amazing stuff.
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
No, it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to fit that in someone's mouth very easily.
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing.
Really? Nothing? Not that it's disgusting? No? Okay.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
You're not going to use your psychic abilities to tell me who it belongs to? No, apparently not.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur, you will.
And she goes back about her doing her thing. So we've got all the information we need. We know that apparently Nico cries herself to sleep, which is interesting. Let's go talk to her now. And we're back onto the tracks of the main story of the game.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently, just above the lock. Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George. Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
My editor told me to drop this story. Can you believe it?
But you're not going to do that.
Oh, no. I'm going to find out what's behind these killings. It just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
Indeed it does. So yeah, one of the things that she, obviously, with the new stuff added into the game, is that she doesn't reference what she's already been involved in. But considering what it's about her father, it would make sense that she would keep that somewhat close to heart. And maybe she wouldn't tell George all the stuff she knows, because she's the reporter. There's no need in her eyes to tell George. Not yet, at least.
Tell me more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Oh yeah, so we all know about her father most recently.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Okay, funny enough, he died in a plane crash. I'm going to tell you right now that both, I think it's, well, I don't know if it's both Nico or George, but George, in a later series, he almost dies of a plane crash as well, so it's quite ironic in that sense.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Funny enough, though, about that, I did hear about, there's been a lot of talk, actually, in the media recently about students not being able to study and be able to eat healthily, I think along those lines. That they're eating, like, either it's fast food because that's easy, or they just don't have the money to actually get themselves, like, a really good diet, and it's, like, been affecting loads of people. So maybe, maybe Nico did have trouble like that. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arnaud Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mine to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cachon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about there. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but in the middle of that, it switches. Technically, we're playing as George, but then it switches to Nico's thought track. It basically goes into the new stuff added into the game. And yeah, man, the costume killer, at least he gets some variety in his act. What is it? He's been a mime, a penguin, a snowman, now a clown. Makes you kind of wonder what he's going to be next. And even though he's showing up at these things, he's obviously a cold-blooded killer. He's a murderer, and sometimes it's very easy to pass it off because, of the ludicrous nature of it. We can ask her about all the stuff we have.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but, well, I had a job to do.
I like the back and forth between them because obviously Nico just like, what? That has no relevance.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
And just like that, bam, we got another lead. Awesome. Nico using her journalistic skills to use theirs. Let's show her the contents of our tissue, will we?
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
As you can imagine, that this tissue is like one of the funniest things to ask people, because it's instantly like, that's disgusting. Why in the world are you showing this to me? And come on, can you imagine it? It's just an American, like, look at my tissue. Look what's inside of it. What do you think about it? It's just like,
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made.
Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
okay, interesting. So she's giving us a picture where he ran out or whatever he did there. So interesting.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
So yeah, the guy there, I'm just going to tell you outright, he is the costume killer. We know because he came out of there, and he has that big scar on his cheek. He does look quite menacing when he doesn't have all the stuff on, but that does kind of eradicate my theory of how quick he was able to get in and out, considering, I mean, George was just blown up. I mean, Nico technically took that picture of him after he was interrogated by the police, so yeah, he must have been really quick, along those lines. And it's weird that no one, saw the scuffle between him and the other guy. But still, that's all we can talk to her about.
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay, and we end up back here. We do have a few leads. We do have another place that we can go. I'm going to read the journal just before we finish up this episode. Paris, clown chasing. Visiting Nico in her apartment. Turns out our editor spiked the story. Seems some important guys are being assassinated by clowns and penguins while the police are keeping quiet about the murders. Not quite the vacation I had expected. Inside the clown's nose I found the name of a costume shop in which the clown suit was hired. A great lead. Nico sharp. When I showed her the material that I found in the courtyard, she gave me a photograph she took at the scene. It shows a man emerging from the courtyard wearing trousers made of the same material, and there's a scar on his cheek in the same of a crescent moon. He is the costume killer. So that's it for now. We've got a picture of the costume killer. We've got some leads on where he obtained some of the gear he is, and maybe we can find out where he is and why the police just don't seem to want to find this guy. And if you noticed, man, they didn't really try that hard, really, to find him. So maybe something's going on there. There's plenty of conspiracy involving Nico's father. There's conspiracy involving the costume killer. Just what the hell is going on? We're going to find out, guys, as this series progresses, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying it. If you do, leave a like, subscribe to the channel to catch series like this, and also the Kittens podcast. And I hope you guys catch us again for the next episode. Thanks a lot now. Bye-bye. Good information.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay.